Thank you. OK, so for the next 20 minutes or so, what I want to do is I want to take you on a little journey about how Snowflake sees AI. And I'm going to do it by introducing some of the functionality that we have that will enable you to use AI in seconds, in minutes, and then go into hours. So what are our objectives with AI and ML? So job zero, priority number one for us is security. So whatever we do with AI, you will get the exact same robust security that you see with our data platform today. So there's no difference there. What we want to do is we want to put data and AI into the hands of everybody. So we don't want it to be people in white coats with rather long foreheads who can only use data and AI, right? We want to be able to put it into the hands of everybody. More importantly, the business users, be able to drive it. And Jordan showed some of that capability today, right? Being able to drive it by asking English questions, right? Being able to speak a language that you understand instead of having to be some SQL genius. But we want to do that as we always do at Snowflake, right? Which is without you having to manage, and we had a speaker on earlier, without you having to manage all of the infrastructure behind it, right? Because that's not really the value add. The value add is you being able to use AI and generate business metrics and drive your business forwards, not how many instances of a certain CPU do I need? How many boxes do I need? How much is that going to cost? You don't need to worry about that. Yeah, so we don't want you to have to worry about that. So as I mentioned, what I'm going to do over the next 15, 20 minutes is take you through some of the things that we've got. Some of these things are available right now within our platform. Some of them are GA in our platform. Some of them are in public preview. And some of them in private preview. But they're late private preview, so they are coming to public preview. And this year is a big year for us with AI and ML. You'll see a lot of releases coming out from us with all this new functionality. And we want you to build and deploy AI apps in as little as minutes. OK, so here's what we're going to cover. We're going to have a look at, in the top left-hand corner, we're going to have a look at a couple of services that you don't need to do anything, right? So we're going to have a look at a Copilot. Well, we'll talk about a Copilot. Universal Search and Document AI. Then we'll move on to Streamlit, which my colleague Anthony is going to demo later to you. And then we'll talk more about the right-hand side, which is Snowpark container services. So who here uses containers in their business? OK. So do we at Snowflake, right? So Snowflake now is going to allow you to Dockerize your application and host it within Snowflake. And I've got a really good example of something that you can do, but you shouldn't do. OK, and then we'll talk about Snowpark for Python, right? So that's our data frame API and our ML API. So we start with Snowflake Cortex, right? So it's got three characteristics that we wanted, right? We wanted it to be super easy to use, right? So like I said, we wanted to put it in the hands of business users. We wanted it to be flexible, so you could use it via SQL, via Python, and all of these still execute within the same sandbox, within the same security rules that you have within Snowflake. So you don't need to go out to some external engine to execute your Python code, your Scala, your Java. And we wanted it to be cost effective, right? Because at the end of the day, money matters. So we're introducing 3 services which will be available for you in Snowsight, which is our UI, and for which you don't need to do anything. Right, so the first one is Document AI. So that's being able to extract data from PDFs So being able to read PDFs and being able to extract attributes from there. We got Snowflake Copilot. So we realized that not everybody can write SQL in their sleep. So business users just want to ask, as Jordan should, they want to ask, show me all the summer camps that are available to me in 2024, maybe by number of places available in descending order, something like that. And then universal search, right? So in the Snowflake platform, we have a number of places where you could find your data. It might be in a database table, but it also might be on our marketplace, right? Maybe you're looking for a data set. Maybe you're looking for something around the weather. You've got a data set in a database table that's for weather, but you might also want to go to the marketplace and take one of our partner offerings that is able to give you a shared data set of weather. So Document AI looks a bit like this. So like I said, these are in private preview right now, and these will sit within Snowsight, so you don't need to do anything. So you'll land your PDFs, your Word documents into a stage within Snowflake, and Document AI will be able to read them and then extract the details from them, like show me how much somebody's getting paid, right? Or show me all the people with it that have a payroll of this month. Then there's universal search. So like I said, it'll be able to discover, so you'll be able to ask for data sets about something, and it will go and it will retrieve those data sets. And it doesn't necessarily have to be just within what you might typically think of, which is database tables, views, procs, whatever. We will also go to the marketplace and discover those data sets for you as well and offer them to you as well. And then Copilot, like I said, not everybody can write SQL, yeah, and business users just want to be able to ask those questions. So Copilot is going to allow you to address your Snowflake data using English prompts. One of the earlier speakers mentioned about context, right? Context is super, super key. And the thing about having that context within Snowflake is that we've got the data catalog sat right next to you, right? So if you asked for sales of widgets over years, we know how all of those tables link together, and then we can go and derive your SQL statement from there. We've also got some specialized functions. So, like I said, some of these are private previews, some of them are already GA. So forecasting, for example, you'll be able to run forecasting models on your data simply by calling the forecasting function. You'll be able to do anomaly detection simply by running the anomaly detection function over your data, right? Translate, maybe you have some text. Maybe you have some text which is in French and you want to translate it to German, or you want Swedish, or whatever it is. You'll be able to use Translate. And summarize might be you've got a big lump of text describing something and you just want a summary of that to come up. So all of these functions are there or are coming, and they're designed to make it easier to use. And you can call those within SQL and also call them within Python as well. So Streamlit, so again, Anthony's going to show Streamlit later on, but Streamlit's really, really interesting for us. So Streamlit is a native artifact within Snowflake. And what it's really key for is it's able to give your users of your databases that very, very quick way of visualizing data using graphs, you could have it with prompts, and down here, Streamlit Chat in Snowflake is in private preview. Yeah, so you can build UIs over your data sets which allow your business users to derive more value from your data sets really, really easily. And it only takes a very few lines of Python code to be able to realize those UIs. Okay, now the good stuff. So Snowpark container services, right? So Snowpark container services, I think these are really cool. And we're getting an awful lot of interest from customers asking loads of really good questions. They're building loads of apps around with them. We've got loads of great examples on the marketplace of people selling solutions using container services. So what is it? It's where Snowflake now will allow you to take your application, Dockerize it, and deploy it and run it within Snowflake, right? Snowflake warehouses, up until now, you couldn't have GPUs, right? With container services, you can now have GPUs, right? So you can have those really intense operations run within it. You can also, so people also want to run things like C and C++. You can now do that within your container. But all of this, being able to Dockerize it, deploy it, and run it within Snowflake means you operate over your Snowflake data from a Dockerized application, means your Docker application's here, your Snowflake data's here, and they're still under the same governance model. So you don't have to take it out to Fargate or ECS and manage security over there. You're managing security all in one place. So again, we just make it super easy for you to be able to manage your application and data using a single process, and that's the Snowflake platform. Okay. First things people wanted to do with Dockerized applications that they were deploying was obviously the LLMs, right? So they wanted to build an LLM, run it with inside Snowflake. Yep, absolutely all day long. Then people are very often asking about running inference models, AI, ML within Snowflake, and they do that by deploying their custom libraries into Snowflake using containers. Yeah, so they can absolutely do that. Some people want to use C, C++, Rust. They want to host some funky front end in Snowflake. Absolutely. With containers, if you can Dockerize it, you can push it up to Snowflake and run it. The last one's a bit interesting. So when I engage with customers who want to talk about SPCS, which is Snowpark Container Services, they want to test, that they're often asking, but can I do this? Right? So very often the conversation starts with, I want to run Kafka inside of Snowflake, right? It's like, okay, you can. Right, so you could have Kafka Dockerized, put into Snowflake, and you run Kafka all day long. Brilliant. The next one that we always get is Postgres. Can I run Postgres inside a Docker application inside Snowflake? Absolutely, you can. Should you? Not sure. Yeah. So the most interesting one, though, by far, was done, I think, just last week. So somebody has taken Doom and is now running Doom inside Docker inside Snowflake, right? Not sure I see the business case for that, but it is possible. So with that, with applications, with great power comes great responsibility, right? So just because you can doesn't necessarily mean that it should. And if you're thinking, okay, I could do this, right? What I would say is, if you can Dockerize it, yes, you could. Maybe you want to take a quick 20-minute break and just say, okay, but should I? And if you've got an account team at Snowflake, have a word with them before you go and you develop all of this application that maybe isn't the way forwards for you, right? So applications, yeah, if you've got an application and you can put it into Docker, Absolutely. And if you go on to our quick starts, so we've got a quick starts thing, which is where you can walk through being able to deploy a sample application into Snowflake using Docker files and deploy it, see what happens, see how it works. We've got our own container registry, so you deploy to our container registry, yeah, so you can keep your images there. Yeah, this is getting an awful lot of interest. And then Snowpark. So Snowpark, I was trying to remember with Anthony earlier on when we GA'd it, and I reckon it's been GA for 2 years. 2 years? Yeah, so I reckon it's been done for 2 years, and this has taken off. So our customers love Snowpark for Python. Let's face it, it works for other languages, but people love Python, right? So Snowpark for Python comes in 2 flavors. We've got the Snowpark API and we've got the Snowpark ML API. So the Snowpark API exposes a data frame API. So anybody a Spark junkie in here? Good. Good. I've only got one hand, which is good, right? So we expose a Spark API, a data frame API, which looks quite a lot like a Spark API, yeah, which allows our customers to almost have that seamless transition. Because one of the things that we don't want you to have to do is manage all the infrastructure that you get behind with Spark, right? Being able to handle all those servers, the out of memories, and everything else. So we allow you to easily port your code into Snowpark and run it within there. And we've also got the Snowpark ML API, yeah, so for machine learning features. Being able, the thing about Snowpark is it allows you to push all of the processing that you do down into Snowflake, right? So you can, outside in your client, you call Snowpark and it pushes that compute down into Snowflake. So it makes your clients more lightweight, right? You don't have to pull data out. And I think that's the next slide. This is what it used to look like without Snowpark, right? Is you used to have to pull your data out of Snowflake, do whatever it is that you do with your data outside. So you needed to manage, again, you needed to manage your own security. You needed to have boxes. You needed to size and scale. So you needed to do all of that yourself. Whereas what we did is we said, okay, why don't you come and do that within us? So now you just have everything execute within Snowflake. So you get all the security that you've had since day one. You get the scalability which you've had since day one, right? Just makes your life that much easier, which harps back to, I think, the first slide, which is we want to make sure that security is taken care of for you from a single platform, and you don't have to manage it. Plus, you don't have to manage that infrastructure as well. We've got a lot of customers, and here's a couple of examples. So it's not just, Snowpark isn't just about ML. We've got data engineering use cases. We've got AI/ML. So some of these will be household names. So the EDF, the energy, they were doing increase 3 to 4 times increase in their model outputs. So it's just faster to market, faster, and being able to generate those much quicker. And also being able to take those Spark pipelines, bring them within Snowflake, and not have to worry about all the other thing. And one of the previous speakers was talking earlier on, instead of having those people on your payroll managing the no value add stuff, they then become value creators, right? And that's what Snowpark allows you to do. It allows you to get rid of all the stuff that is undifferentiated lifting, yeah, and just bring it all into Snowflake. So over 35% of Snowflake customers use Snowpark on a weekly basis. And that's growing all the time. So you'll recognize quite a few of these customers here. And you can expose, so Snowpark is visible in different ways within Snowflake. So from the library side, like I said, we've got the data frame API and we've got the ML API. So if you're using a client, you can use those within your applications. But you can also put them straight into Snowflake, right? So you could create user-defined functions, vectorized UDFs, UDTFs. You've got stored procs, table stored procs, anonymous stored procs. All of these can use Snowflake. All of them can use Snowflake because they are Snowflake, right? All of these can use Snowpark within Snowflake, right? So you can have all of the Snowpark functionality embedded directly within Snowflake primitives. Yeah, so it's not just an external client thing. You can have it embedded within your objects. So if you've got some really funky processing that you need to do, and SQL isn't going to do it, Snowpark's your winner. Okay, so just some more examples of people who are using Snowpark. And thank you.